WCXO, Carlisle.
This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports. Since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors presents Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin' Sports is powered by Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery in Carlisle. Talkin' Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Sieber Brothers in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard in rural Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin' Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talking Sports. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio on a Monday night. Coming up this evening, we're going to talk to not one but 2 Hall of Famers. First from the Kaskaskia College Sports Hall of Fame, the Athletic Hall of Fame, actually, Jeff Jensen. And then from the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, from that Illinois wing, Nancy Scranton. Each Centralia natives, of course, Nancy, a long time. She's still golfing. What a pro she is. And, of course, as always on a Monday with Easy on Travel, Little Augie's Pizza, Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. We'll begin, though, as always, as usual anyway, with Scores and Stuff, which is brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Carlisle, the hometown source for residential and commercial work. And let's start with pucks. The Blues had their Sunday spoiled by the 2-time Stanley Cup champs, the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pens got a pair of goals from Sidney Crosby and topped the note 4-1 at Scott Trade. It was a much closer game, but Crosby's first goal was his 18th of the season, and Pittsburgh wins it. That goal, the number one of his first of the contest, was the 400th of his career, incidentally. Crosby had an empty net goal with 2:48 to play. He had gone 10 games without a snipe. Kyle Brodziak scored the lone counter for the note. Jake Allen was between the pipes for St. Louis. He had 19 saves. The Blues actually outshot the Pens 34-23. The note are in Music City tomorrow night. They're still third in the Central of the Western Conference, just 1 point ahead of Dallas. Minnesota is 5 back. Colorado is not too far off the pace. And, of course, the Blues, they played 3 more games, 2 more games, a game more than some of these other conference foes. So, again, it's going to go down to the wire. Tampa Bay with 79. They lead the way. And Vegas still, they're in second, along with the Bruins with 76 points. The Penn State Nittany Lions whipped the Illini yesterday. State bombed Illinois 74-52 in Champaign. Penn State only had a 1-point halftime lead and then splurged. Illinois has lost 9 of 11 now. They're 2-11 in Big Ten play, 12-14 overall. They're miserable. LaRon Black scored 18 for the. I didn't think it would be like this year. The Fighting Illini skip town. That's a good thing for Indiana Wednesday night. Boy, there was quite a game on. Let's see, that was Saturday, right? So many games, so many days. But anyway, Michigan State edged Purdue 68-65, a battle of the 2 powers, 2 of the 4 really good teams in the Big Ten. And the Spartans have won 8 straight now. The Boilermakers have lost 2 straight after winning a school record 19 in a row. Duke ended a 2-game washout, in case you happen to be one, and there are Blue Devils fans for sure around these parts. On Saturday, Mizzou bit off Mississippi State. St. Louis U topped LaSalle, and the SIU Cougars lost to Murray State. No shocker there. Yesterday, SIU hung a 74-57 victory on the Bradley Braves. The Dogs are only 2 games behind first place Loyola. Virginia is the AP's '1 team for the first time since the Ralph Sampson days back in 1982. Some of you remember 7'4" Ralph Sampson. What is the deal with this now? The preliminary NCAA tournament rankings. This Virginia's '1. Michigan State's a 3rd seed in one of the regions. Ohio State's a 14. Purdue is a 4th. This is stupid, meaningless. It's not needed. LeBron James scored 24 with 10 assists and 8 boards, and those new-look Cleveland Cavaliers bounced Boston 121-99. So the Cavs are suddenly NBA champs, huh? Since the retool. The C's retired Paul Pierce's number after the wipeout. Don't give me that better than Larry Bird stuff. Come on. What in the... Let's go to baseball where the Cardinals... this was kind of shallow, but they signed a pitcher. Well, as soon as he passes his physical. But they agreed on a 1-year deal with right-hander Bud Norris, the former Cardinals killer. He's still only 32. He made 57 relief appearances and 3 starts for the Angels last season. He ended up as their closer and made 19 saves. He sort of excelled in that role. Overall, 2-6 with a 4.21 ERA. He's in the fold, or will be officially soon, for the Cardinals. This was a bigger splash, although there are ramifications, I suppose, if they win. But Yu Darvish is joining the Cubs. He's agreed to a 6-year deal worth $126 million. He's 31. He was very average last year. He's been a bust in the playoffs pretty much throughout. He is, however, the only Cubs starting pitcher, he will be, with an ERA beneath 4 coming into the season from last year. I'll have a sports clip on the Cubs and you tomorrow. He found a sucker. I mean, nobody. Who were they bidding against? Nobody. No, the players aren't being paid so far. The Colts have their man, finally. They have a coach in Frank Reich. He takes over whether Andrew Luck is there. Hey, take the money and run, man. Johnny Football wants to make a comeback. He says he's been diagnosed as bipolar, and he's taking meds. He takes meds for everything, so we'll see if Johnny. Good luck, Johnny. I actually always liked Johnny, but he's disappointed me. The Winter Olympics continue in South Korea. I watched some of the luge last night. Impressive. I caught some snowboarding. That was mildly interesting. The wind, man, big factor there. I'm glancing at some of the stuff. Overall, it's a good sidebar. You know, Ted Potter Jr. won the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am in $1,332,000. The women were idle. Mark Calcavecchia, one of the greatest names in golf, claimed the seniors event at Boca Raton. And Alex Bowman won the pole for the Great American Race. Yes, the Daytona 500 is this Sunday. Amazing. That's talking sports and scores and stuff, the scores and stuff portion. It was carried your way by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Carlisle. Again, it's the hometown source for residential and commercial work. Straight ahead, Jeff Jensen and Nancy Scranton and the Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week 2 via the Easy
insurance.
Travel.
Insurance you can really count on. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Nordyke Funeral Home is thinking about your future and offers secure, pre-planned funeral arrangements, relieving the emotional burden for those you love, allowing you to express your own wishes, and assures peace of mind with financial concerns when your family needs it the most. Nordyke Funeral Home has 5 locations in Albers, Aveston, Breeze, New Baden, and now Carlisle. Visit NordykeFuneralHome.com or call 588-3533. Striving to earn your family's confidence and trust, Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart Studio for Monday, every Monday and Wednesday, 6 to 7, Saturday mornings, 9 until 10. Let's hook up for the first time tonight with someone on the Johnston Jewelers guest line. We're going to the Bad Roads of Missouri for New Kaskaskia College Hall of Famer Jeff Jansen. Jeff, welcome to Talking Sports.
Rip, it's fantastic to be on with you, sir. How are you?
Good, good. And you are too, I know, because you're in the Kaskaskia College Athletic Hall of Fame. Congrats on that honor.
Thank you very much. You know, it's exciting. It's actually my second time in. The first time in was with my team, the 81-82 Blue Devil squad. That, you know, that's why I'm in there now. It was a great team and had a great time playing for Smitty back in the day, and it was really an honor. It was really a cool, and I was glad you were there Saturday. What a great event, and Casey does a fine job. Kathy does a great job over there, so it was really a good deal. Really a nice day for me and my family.
Yeah, it always is. It's always put on very well. Yeah, I'm proud. I'm happy to be on the Hall of Fame committee there, and I was definitely glad to see you get the nod. Is that how you found out about the honor, through Kathy, through Wojo?
You know, actually through Smitty.
Oh, through Smitty, okay.
Yeah, and I've got to give Smitty a lot of credit for that. He's really worked hard the last couple of go-rounds, I think, to petition to get me in the Hall of Fame there. And
he's got the numbers with him all the time.
I'm telling you what, he works hard for the guys. You know, he and I had this conversation at lunch on Saturday, and Larry Smith's an icon. He's an institution on Shattuck Road, man. He is he's really the heart and soul of what I remember there, Rip. And it was we had a conversation at lunch about the next bunch that's going in, and guys that were teammates of mine that he's fighting for. And,
okay.
You know, that was such a great team, man. It really was. I know there's a couple of guys that went in ahead of me, Jeff Morris, Brian Guthrie, and there's a whole slew of fellas that deserve to be in there. Just a great bunch of guys.
Well, I'm sure. Incidentally, that was a great brunch, wasn't it? That's what
it was.
Yeah, you have to have that
too. You know, I enjoyed every bit of it, from the brunch to the reception that kicked it off, to the ceremony, and then getting to watch the Blue Devils play little hoops there.
Exactly.
On Saturday, it was really nice to be back on the campus, and it's changed a little bit in 35 years.
Haven't we all?
I know I have. I know the pictures. I had to convince the folks that were there that those really were my photos from back in the early 80s.
That's I suppose. I think I remember those. Yeah, those days. So. Well, I know your entire family is definitely very. Your parents were there, the siblings, and how about he couldn't make it? I know this particular one, but JR, he has to be pretty happy with you being inducted as well.
You know, he takes a lot of credit for that, and I got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he drugged me around to the ballparks there in Centralia, and when we were younger, up in Central Illinois, up in the Raymond area, he let me tag along. Not every older brother would do that. And then I've got 2 older sisters that went to, they really, really were generous with their time when Mom and Dad were dragging us around to the ballpark. And they were such great academics and in band, and they had their own activities they were involved in. It's just that when it came to baseball, that's kind of the path my brother JR and I took. So it really was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, I had this conversation too, Rip. I couldn't imagine been playing anywhere else but they're at KC. It was just a perfect fit for me. There were opportunities to look at some 4-year schools and things like that, but I tell you what, it was just a great way for a young guy to get a couple of years of education and play a lot of great baseball and with a lot of great guys and for a great coach. And the best part was, Rip,
yes,
my mom and dad got to see every bit of it. That meant the world to me. They are still to this day pretty big supporters of me. They're on the Jeff Jensen bandwagon and my kids' bandwagon and my wife's bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was pretty sweet. My grandfather, he was up the road in Shattuck, and he came down to a lot of games. So it was just a nice fit. And getting to play for Smitty and getting to play for old Chuck Hawley, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good fit.
Hard to top. And it's great to go in with teammates as a team, but just to take the team out of it for a while, it's a little even more special when you enter the gates of any hall as an individual for those accomplishments. And you racked up several as a Blue Devils baseball player, and you were on the 81. Actually, back then it was I believe just the same as in the mid 70s when my era. There was the conference season was in the fall, right?
That's correct.
Still then, yeah. That didn't change until quite a bit later.
Fall.
Right, so it was the fall of 81 through the spring of 83.
That's exactly right. I was talking to someone about this as well. We played I believe we played a 16-game schedule in that back then.
The Southern Illinois Collegiate Conference, which was very good. And some of those same teams baseball. Are in the Great Rivers.
Oh, yeah. When you mix in Rend Lake and Wabash Valley and schools like that and Logan, you're going to have good baseball. And we were just fortunate to have some really good teams. And, there's guys that, and back then, Rip, it was mostly local KC district guys. There wasn't a lot of recruiting out of the area. We had a couple of guys that were from over around Granite City, like guys like Chuck Matthews, who played third base for us. He was from out of the area, but mostly it was Salem, Greenville, Trenton, Carlisle, Breeze, guys like Charlie Becker came over. And then Centralia, there were quite a few Centralia guys, the Kells, like Jamie and Jason Kell.
Bet.
And those guys who I don't get to see these guys anymore.
No.
But
hey, I don't see them enough. Man. But that's where it got the tag, of course, many years ago, community college, and that's what it was. And I understand things have changed, but it was really special with all the local talent, and that, of course, really propped up the fan support. Yeah. There were more people out there for baseball and basketball and everything. But again, things have changed, and now over the last 20 years. And the recruiting has really taken hold at the JUCO level, including this conference where Centralia guys, Carlisle, whatever, they want to leave home, even if it's over to Swick or whatever, and some of them come here. It's just that those days aren't coming back.
I don't think it's any different on any level. I think you see it whenever, kids from St. Louis metro area,
right.
Do they want to go to, they want to look at the Ohio States and the Nebraskas and the places that are just a little further away from home. I don't think it's any different with JUCO talent right now. So, I'm down in the area called the Mineral area. So Mineral Area College is the community college, junior college in our market where I live now. And we don't get to play Kaskaskia enough in sports, but it's kind of cool when they come to town. I'm awful proud to tell people I went to KC, and I have great memories of being from and not just the school, but I'm telling you what, that team, we had some guys that could flat play. You put a guy like Dennis Rockers at shortstop on any team, and you're going to be pretty solid.
That's right. Rocky, one of the many Rockies.
Rocky could play, and you guys like Timmy Isaac and Brian Guthrie, Al Lake, those guys, and there was a guy named Craig Klein. Those guys all had great seasons.
Right.
Yeah, those guys all had great seasons.
I've often said, not with basketball, but because height, speed, jumping, you name it, but with baseball still, you can't do it anymore, but if you would still get almost all, especially all, but all from Clinton, Mary, and so forth at Kaskaskia College, you would do more to compete. You would win championships with that fold, but it won't be there anymore.
Rip, in 80, the class of 81, the senior class of 81, which I was a part of, the kids from Carlisle won the state championship over there in their division that year.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to state, at Centralia.
That's right.
We went to the state finals in the play. We made in that year, in those years, they took 8 teams to Springfield to play in the state playoffs, and we made that round. We beat the defending state champion Collinsville K-Hawks to get up there, and that was there was good baseball. I mean, the county league, which I was fortunate enough to play in back in those days,
still going strong.
I played for the Bombers for a couple summers, and there's just really, really good baseball. And the year behind me, that 81-82 team's kind of what we focused on, but guys like Mo Hegan and Charlie Becker, and there was a whole bunch of them came in, the next year and played.
By the way, while you mentioned the 81 Orphans, a young coach, Donnie Walker, led that group to the state tournament. You actually got beat out, right, by Mike Dunn. I forgot the team he played on, but of course he went on to fame with Pittsburgh Pirates and so forth.
Bartonville
That's it.
Mike Dunn was he may have been a junior that year, but he went on to pitch for the Olympic team, and he was a first round pick, pitched in the bigs, and they had he could throw he could really move the ball around, and he was a good player. But Donnie Walker, he and his wife Mary, they were kind enough to give me a call last week, and I talked to Donnie for the first time in a long time last week, and that's a shame because he is such a pleasant, great person to visit with.
Well, you might have to get on our trivia list. He sends me trivia every morning but Sundays.
I need to do that. But I'm going to tell you something. You said a young coach. He was a young coach. To a bunch of high school kids, he was a veteran.
He's 26.
Coach.
He's my age, so he's 26.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to toss out some numbers for you, Jeff, because they're impressive. You hit in the 2 years your JUCO career, 309 with 19 homers and 83 RBIs. I understand I didn't remember, but you should have had 20. A call went against you. They said it went foul. Is that the deal? Was that Kenny Black? Did I catch that right?
That was. I think that was my grandfather would probably tell you more about it if he were still with us. Boy, he remembered that one. He was a quiet soul. But my mom, my dad, my grandpa, everybody who was at the park that day, I think knew it might have been fair. But Kenny saw it otherwise.
Oh, so, Kenny's super umpire.
Oh my gosh! I tell you what, Ray Albert, Kenny,
right.
The Branhams.
Oh yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy and Spanky came soon after that to umpire. A lot of good umpires came through the ranks up there. But I want to tell you, going back to Centralia, that was a great team. We were fortunate enough to be put in that Centralia Hall of Fame, Rip, as you well know. That baseball team, good bunch of players. And as kids, that's all we did. We didn't have AAU. It was just fun. And I was fortunate to learn from some really, really good coaches. When you play for guys like Donnie Walker and guys like Larry Smith, you're fortunate. And I was fortunate to go down to SEMO. Things didn't quite go on that end of the career as they could have, or I wanted them to. But boy, I tell you what, my high school and JUCO career was, I just can't say enough about it. It was super. And I don't know, somebody told me the other day they thought that the home run record still may be 19. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But it was a long, long time ago. I do know that. But I was fortunate. Hey, Rip, I know I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, we've got 5-6 minutes here.
Hey, is Nancy on tonight?
Nancy's on tonight. Yes.
I told my mom that today, Rip. I was telling her on the phone that I was going to be on, and I said, I think Nancy Scranton's going to be on. I think she might have been as excited about having Nancy on as having me on.
Nancy. She is one super gal, and she went to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame last week. That's her third one at least, and she's always great. I'm just checking through these statistics again, and I read it twice the other day, but I have to bring that back up. Somehow, this must be a misprint. You gave yourself you had 7 sacrifice bunts. Hard to believe.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think you'd accept.
And I probably had more bunt hits. I liked to bunt when things were going well.
The bunt hits, but the sacrifice. I can't believe it.
Smitty would have me put one down on occasion. We had such a really interesting lineup, and we played. We played a good style of baseball. We were. That was back in the day when you thought you just rolled the ball out and you went out there and. We were very well versed in the fundamentals of the game. Don Walker, Larry Smith, those guys did a great job of teaching you how to play baseball, and I was very fortunate to be in those two programs.
You had to learn the fundamentals, or you didn't hit the field.
That's right. That's right. We played. You won with defense, and that Orphan team back in '81 that team hit. I think our team average was over 320.
Impressive.
For the team,
yeah.
And stole a lot of bases. A lot of guys on that team that could run, throw, field, as well as hit. And we had two guys on that team. I don't know. I've never seen it since. I'm sure it's happened, Rip, a lot of times, but we had two guys on that team win 10 games apiece.
That's a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to win 20 games in a high school baseball season, but to have two guys, I think Dwayne Barnett and Jamie Kell both won 10 or more games.
Yeah, well, they were probably all complete games, too, or close to
it. We won 25 games that season, 5 some years.
Yeah.
But that was great. The KC deal, I can't tell you about that experience. It was tremendous.
And to have Smitty, he was your intro man on Saturday, and that's always good too. So
yeah, that was a privilege to have. Larry.
Did you like his jokes?
Step up. Larry's got. I think I'd heard that joke in 1981.
The first one about your pitching tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's still good.
And I really wish. I know you mentioned earlier you'd like to have me tell a couple of Chuck Hawley stories, but I don't think you have that 5-second delay deal.
No, we don't. We might have
We'd probably need that for a Chuck Hawley story.
You might have to wait until I get a podcast for that.
But no, everything's great. I'm going to tell you, I'm a super blessed guy. I go back to my mother, my father, my siblings. My situation, my life is with my wife and kids. I'm just a very fortunate person. And to have the chance to have played as much as I did, I mean, not that, just the good fortune I had with my family that allowed me to, I worked, but boy, I got to work. I was able to work around baseball a lot, and it worked out for me.
Well,
it really did.
I didn't hear, something I didn't know. Of course, I could have forgotten by it, but I didn't realize you worked for the city of Centralia along with Burley and Gaetti and all.
That was the job to have, man.
A lot of people work for the C-Town.
Burley can tell you this.
Oh, he has.
Job to have, man. Brad Stonecipher, Gary Gaetti. I was just following in the footsteps of the greats.
I know.
I knew when Gaetti had that job, I knew I needed to get that thing. When he was in my sister Julie's class. He was about 76, I think. So he was a few years ahead of me.
Yep, 76. So. And where are you living now? Is it Fredericktown, Mo?
It is Fredericktown, Mo. We are about 50 miles from Cape Girardeau, between Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and Farmington, Missouri. So it's kind of south. But I'm going to tell you, I used to cross paths with an old teammate of mine who's from Carlisle that played on that 81-82 team, and he was a tremendous outfielder. His name was Randy Potts.
Yes.
Remember Potsy? Potsy was a stellar. I tell you what, if I went around, I could spend all 15, 20 minutes talking about the guys on that team. We had a first baseman from Greenville named Pat Shea that was just the Keith Hernandez of the time. He was slick fielding.
That's slick, yeah.
Didn't hit a lot, but my gosh, he was worth his weight in gold on first base, and just had a great team. I mean, I mentioned Jeff Morris earlier. He was a tremendous talent. Brian Guthrie, Brian.
Alan Lake from Oakland.
Al Lake, Timmy Isaac,
Timmy,
from Huey.
Timmy and his sons were remarkable players. So, yeah, man, those were fun times, Jeff. Hey, I guess we got to let you out of here, but we appreciate you coming on. Say hello to everybody back in your parts, including JR and his wife there. And,
I will. I hope they're listening. J.R. Jensen and Bobby Benicus Jensen, they've raised their family down in the same area I'm in. JR's in coaching now and is absolutely doing a stellar job.
Hey, how'd they do this weekend?
They got, believe it or not, the weather got them. They weren't able. They had to postpone.
Okay.
But I've got a sister there in Clinton County, Pam Crakey, and my sister Julie Langenfeld there in Centralia. I'd be remiss not to thank them and mention them. But I'm very fortunate. But the biggest thanks go out to my family, my wife and kids, and then Roger and Louise Jensen, who have always kind of taken care of this old boy. So, Rip, Thanks, man. Tell Nancy Scranton hello for me.
Appreciate it. You bet. Thanks a bunch, Jeff.
Take care, Rip. Thank you. See you.
Jeff Jensen, one of the 5 individuals went in Saturday in the team, a baseball team from 2009, the 2009 squad coached by Mitch Custer in his first year. We better spin away, and then we'll come back with the Prep Athlete of the Week.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here.
We know that every driver is different and one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, you've got a discount to suit every driver. Come see us at our new location in Breeze or call me, Keith Wilkin, at 526-1179 or Teresa Richards at 526-1100 today to see what you could save.
Find the perfect car, truck, SUV, or crossover that fits your budget at Breeze Motor Sales on Old Route 50 in Breeze. Breeze Motor Sales offering new 2018 Ford vehicles and a wide pre-owned selection too. Breeze Motor Sales has kept your vehicles in tip-top shape with genuine Ford parts for over 100 years. On Old Route 50 in Breeze and online at breezemotorsales.com. Breeze Motor Sales, your family dealer since 1913.
Reverman Chiropractic in Breeze would like to say thank you to our patients, staff, and local healthcare professionals for their continued support and cooperation as we celebrate 10 years in business. At Reverman Chiropractic, our focus is to work with you, the patient, and your other healthcare providers to deliver the best and most effective care possible. Please take advantage of our evening and weekend hours and call 526-4700 to schedule an appointment with Dr. Craig Reverman or Dr. Travis Isaac.
Remember what it was like to expect the unexpected?
I never realized it was so complex.
Guess what? The feeling's back.
You're on Max.
Hello again, everybody. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio, where the time is 6:33 on the button. That time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms. Let's collide now with the Athlete of the Week.
You're simply the best.
Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Easy In Travel in Breeze. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel in Breeze. Call 526-2201 and by Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. The choice for pizza, pasta, and more. Call 526-7040.
And Carlisle Indians wrestler Nathan Hussman is that Athlete of the Week. He's en route to this weekend's state tournament after advancing out of the Vandalia sectional Saturday. He was the runner-up at 195. Unfortunately, teammate Dale Allen came up just short in his bid, but Nathan is heading up north. And for that and more, he receives a $10 gift certificate to Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. Enjoy. Another break. We'll bounce right back on Talking Sports.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Braun Ability dealer in Breeze. Braun Ability features the broadest lineup of wheelchair-accessible vehicles with more brands, entry types, features, and price points than any other manufacturer in the industry. See for yourself at Southern Bus and Mobility why a new or certified pre-owned wheelchair-accessible Braun Ability vehicle is the only way to go. Call 526-4131 or stop by just east of Breeze on Old Route 50.
Good times are waiting at Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery, just north of Carlisle on Route 127. There's no better place to see live music than the Brett's Outdoor Stage, hosting bands every weekend. The kitchen at Brett's opens at 3 on Monday and Tuesday. They open for lunch at 11 Wednesday through Friday, and they have breakfast Saturday and Sunday starting at 8, with dinner available daily. Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery is a great spot for a meeting, a party, a get-together, or just to grab a bite to eat. Call 594-8830 or go to wildlifelodgeandwinery.com.
Did you know Parkinson's disease affects 1.5 million people in the United States? Published medical research has shown that non-contact boxing classes can reverse, reduce, and even delay the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. At Rocksteady Boxing, we aim to improve the quality of life for people living with Parkinson's while providing camaraderie and an uplifting environment. Your local Rocksteady Boxing program is located within the MedPlus Physical Therapy Department in Carlisle. Come join Rocksteady Boxing and fight back against Parkinson's. Give us a call at 594-3671.
Do you mind if I turn on the radio?
The music is great, and it doesn't cost anything.
It's Max 96.7.
We are still here, Rip here in the Birdwatching Health Mart studio on this Monday night. I want to congratulate one more time. I'll do it another time and another time. But to Daniel Levad of Pocahontas, he won our Valentine's Day Trivia Prize Saturday morning. Here's what he won. He claimed for his wife or girlfriend. I don't know the entire family situation. He got a Valentine's Day plant from Judy at Town & Country Florist, a $50 gift card from Gay at Michael's Restaurant, a bottle of Red Baron wine from Doug and Jody at 12 Oaks Vineyard, and hair products and other products from Carla at Designs Unlimited Salon and Spa. All that courtesy of Breeze and Highland and Rural Carlisle and Breeze, and that entire package was worth around $135, $140 in that neighborhood. So I believe he picked it up that very morning or later on from Town & Country Florist and Breeze. Judy had all of the goodies there. So congrats to Daniel Levad. I'm sure, well, I know he made someone very, very happy. That's a nice haul. And all of our great sponsors, Town & Country Florist and Breeze, Michael's Restaurant in Highland, 12 Oaks Vineyard in Rural Carlisle, and Designs Unlimited Salon and Spa and Breeze. We thank all of them for chipping in big time. All right, we've heard from Jeff Jensen. Wednesday night, one of our guests is Kaskaskia College Blue Angels basketball coach Janelle Kuhn. But in the present, well, stay tuned because she's at the next tee box, and she is pro golfer and a Hall of Famer again, Nancy Scranton. Stick and stay. If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkin's because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
Winter has brought about change for 12 Oaks Vineyard. During the winter months, our tasting room is open by reservation only. So please gather your family and friends and call us at 594-7459 to make your reservations. 12 Oaks Vineyard wine can also be purchased at Hoffman Supermarket, Carlisle IGA, and the Columbian Club in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard at 18975 Vogel Road, just 3 miles south of Carlisle, and at 12oaksvineyard.com.
This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports is brought to you by the Benoff Insurance Agency in Breeze and Trenton, Breeze Dental Care, K&J Chevrolet, Reverman Chiropractic and Spinal Rehabilitation and Breeze Motor Sales, Southern Bus and Mobility, Kaskaskia College, the First National Bank of Carlisle, Reekman Brothers John Deere, St. Joseph Hospital Breeze, MedPlus Physical Medicine and Brett's Wildlife Lodge, State Farm Insurance Agent Steve Klosterman and Hardy's locations in Breeze and Carlisle, Breeze Family Vision, Tempo Bank, Country Financial representatives Keith Wilkin and Teresa Richards, and Area CC Food Marts. WCXO Sports since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, the Westland Warriors, and now the Christ Our Rock Silver Stallions.
Welcome to our music warehouse.
Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs.
Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
Hello again, sports fans. We are back in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio for one final important block. Incidentally, all these shows now are on live at Max 96.7 and WCXO967.com and on delay through the archives at riptalkinsports.com, riptalkinsports.com. So plenty of venues for you to sort stuff out. Here we go. We catch up to the Johnston Jewelers guest line. And we head down to Jacksonville, Florida for Centralia native and pro golfer Nancy Scranton. Nancy, welcome back to Talking Sports.
Thank you, Rip. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How's that Florida weather?
It's actually really good right now.
I believe it.
Yeah, it is. It's quite warm.
It's quite warm, huh?
Yeah, it is. We had some cold weather for here, but now it's in the 70s today, so
Beautiful.
It's pretty nice.
That's not bad. And I know you're doing rather well, especially since, man, you just got salted away in another Hall of Fame. This time you were inducted just recently to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations on that newest achievement.
Thank you very much. It was a really nice honor, and it was really a lot of fun to come back for a couple days and hang with my friends and just reminisce a little bit. It was good.
Oh, I bet you had a good following, huh?
Yeah, I had the gang there. Yeah,
the gang.
It was fun. And it was fun because it was all sports, and it wasn't just golf, and it was basketball. They had boxer.
Yeah.
Softball coach, football. It was really fun.
It was well rounded. And that boxer, we've had him on Talking Sports. Arthur Flash Johnson from East St. Louis. In fact, Nancy, we had him on. He was getting a haircut at the time in East St. Louis. He said, I forgot. So we did that he did that from the barber's chair. And of course, Ken Oberkfell, who was a great baseball player. We had 3 or 4 of these inductees on. So, but that's pretty good.
It was really fun, and they had the Collinsville basketball team on from 60-61, and they were apologizing to my gang because they were undefeated, I guess, and they almost lost to Centralia, but they pulled it out, I guess. So it was kind of funny, and yeah.
That was I think, around 1961 or two at Salem. They beat them at B.E. Gum, and still a lot of the old timers will say I was the best game they've ever seen.
Well, it's funny. That's what the guys from Collinsville were saying. They said, of all the games, that's the one they remember. So, it was really fun because growing up, golf was not really it for me. I mean, it was all the other sports, and I mean, it was important and it was fun. But I think I enjoyed this a lot because they talked about the softball and the basketball, especially the basketball, and it was really a lot of fun.
And I don't know if I remember, but I don't know if I get this right or wrong, Nancy. But were you on the first Orphan Annie's basketball team at Centralia?
I was not on the first.
I always mess that up.
I was very busy cheerleading at that time. Yeah, and then I played. I played my last 2 years of school. I was on the very first softball team at CHS. So it was fun though. The basketball was fun. I remember. They went to state and they finished 4th, and Anne Murray had tried to recruit me for a couple of years. So I wish I would have played a little bit earlier, but luckily I did. I did play my last 2 years. And, just loved it. It was so much fun.
That's good. And those softball days with Harold Markin. Oh, I'll never forget those. Let alone, but this particular the main my research department, which is me, let me down again, Nancy. I should have that. I always. But anyway, you gain entry though into this is the Illinois wing of the St. Louis Hall, and that was a great addition. I'm pretty sure Greg Marisek is behind that. Did you meet Greg, or maybe he even called you? Huh? As far as
he did. That's who Greg called me. He actually found me through Kim McMillan. So he called her and found me that way. So
he'll find you. He'll track you down.
Yeah, he did. He found me. That's for sure.
But you busted down the hall doors with, as you said, some terrific athletes. We just touched on a few of those. Did you know any of these? Others, other Hall of Famers?
I knew of them. I didn't really know any of them, but I knew of them and was really interested meeting some of them, and some of their stories were really interesting. So it was really enjoyable for me. It was just a really nice. It was It was really cold that week, though. I woke up and it was
That's true.
14, and I'm not used to that.
No, I'm sure. I know you're not. I'm not exactly fond of it, but yeah, there was a track star in there, and I think Blop and Yeager, a Collinsville swimmer who was just fantastic. And then just in your regards, I mean, this is the second class. Now, the first one for the Illinois Stars was last year at O'Fallon, and our area well represented there too, with Gary Gaetti and Kirk Reeder and another golfer by the name of Tom Wargo.
Yeah, you know.
That other pro.
We did okay from Centralia, didn't we?
Oh, I'd say you were kind of a team for a while. I know you probably helped each other with games, but maybe you played a little together too, didn't you, on special events? Yeah,
we did. It was really fun. He came to Centralia when I was just been playing for a couple of years and started working at Greenview, and then he ended up buying it. And I started working with Tom when I was, I think, 19.
Okay.
And he was giving me lessons, and they're interesting the way he gave lessons.
I bet so, yeah.
It worked, but
yeah.
It was interesting. And then it was kind of fun because, my dad would caddy for me at the rail and every year. But then Tom ended up, I don't know, for several years, he came up and would caddy the first round just to kind of, see how I did in competition.
Set the tone, right.
Yeah, exactly. And so he made quite the impression on all the other caddies.
Yes.
And then when he, got out on the senior tour or the Champions Tour, they were all like, "That's your caddy." I'm like, "Yes, it is." And it was really kind of fun to have them all know him, and it was I have to say it was really interesting having him caddy. I asked him, I said, "Can I have a new ball?" And he goes, "Why? What's wrong with this one?" So that would be our kind of conversations around the golf course. But then we did play in the J.C. Penney Classic, which was the alternate shot. It was a PGA Tour player and an LPGA player, and he was a senior tour player, so that was, we had a little bit of disadvantage because he was old.
Whoops, still there, Nancy? There you go.
I know. Yeah, and he anyway, we did really well together, and we played together, and it was really a lot of fun. We did that for, maybe 4 years. I don't even know. It's been a while now. It's hard to believe.
It's a good thing you never took me up on my offer to be your caddy. That would have stunted your career.
Hey, you never know. There's still opportunities out there.
I know. I
still play a couple.
And that's great. That's the Hall of Fame setting itself, and I like all halls. Well, I mean, I like certain halls more than others in the halls of fame, but this was a little unique. It wasn't just your straight. In fact, I don't even think you don't give a speech, do you? It's an interview situation with a sports writer and or broadcaster, which is rather unique. But
it was actually
cool.
I should have had you come over and do it for me.
Oh, that would have been great. But
that would have been good. I wish I would have thought of that.
We would have set the. Yeah, it would have been super.
Yeah, we
next
would have.
time, the next hall.
They might have started throwing things at. I don't know.
At me. But who interviewed you? I missed out on that.
Oh. Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Forget that question. We'll slap that one away.
He was a radio personality, and I think he's quite an I think he'd been around a while. I should
was
say
it Randy Carrick? Was he Randy Carricker by chance?
No.
Okay. Well, he's not important. You're the one that's important, so heck with it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But I'm quite sure I have to check that out somewhere. I'm sure you can. I'll be able to find that on YouTube or who knows, that social media stuff. So Centralia's own Nancy Scranton is with us, and another hall. It never gets old, but the premise remains the same, doesn't it, Nancy? I mean, you have to have talent, but you have to work hard, and then you have to produce results, and you've done it again. You keep on doing it.
Yeah. Well, it was like I said, it was quite the. Surprise too when he called me, and an honor, and it was really nice. Like, it's the first hall that I've been inducted into that was not just a golf Hall of Fame. So I have to say I really enjoyed all the other interviews with all the other players because they all had such interesting stories and histories. So that was a lot of fun to listen to.
Variety is good. Although you want how many you're in the Kentucky Hall of Fame?
Yes.
And then the Legends?
The Legends Tour Hall of Fame.
And the Centralia Sports Hall of Fame, which encompasses, of course, all sports.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Well,
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not making you a liar, Nancy. So, but that's. I mean, is probably that's. You tell me that may stand out tops the others. That'd be your hometown and all. That's really incredible.
It was, and I was inducted the same year as Anne Murray, so that was really, really fun, and my parents were still around, so that was great. And Anne was my basketball coach, but she also was really kind of a great mentor, and when I was looking to go to schools and colleges and things, it was nice to have her to talk to a little bit and bounce things off of. So it was that was pretty cool.
So did I miss any halls there, Nancy? Hopefully you'll probably have another one.
I think that's it.
The legend. You
never know.
No. You probably will. You unlocked the Legends of Golf Hall. That was last year, right?
Yes, it was. It was the Legends Tour Hall of Fame.
First group.
And yes, it was really that was great. That was really special, and it was in French Lick at the French Lick Resort, and it made it extra special because I do represent the resort there, and so that was kind of a nice it was kind of a nice tie-in, and we have our LPGA has kind of taken over that tournament, and it's now the LPGA's senior championship. So it's our version of the the PGA Championship, and this year is the very first time they're going to hold the U.S. Senior Women's Open. So it's they announced it a few years ago, and this is the first year they're having a Senior Women's Open. So it's quite a big deal, and it's going to be actually in Chicago Golf Club. So home state, so that'll be kind of fun.
But you did, last year you did play though. There was a tournament setting going on at that point, and then you capped it off with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there was no U.S. Yes, there was the LPGA Senior Championship, but there was no U.S. Senior Women's Open until this year. So that's going to be exciting. But now it means I'm going to have to actually practice a little bit.
Maybe just use that simulator.
Yeah, something. I know it's hard. I have to say, it's really hard to go out and play, a half a dozen competitive rounds a year when you don't do it.
All that time off. Yeah.
It's frustrating because you can't do the things you used to be able to do, and
you got to have repetition, don't you, Nancy? Golf.
Yeah. And it's one thing to go on the range, and it's another thing to go out and play 18 holes, but to play when it really counts, and you can't just throw down another ball and hit it or gimme, and it makes a difference, and it's you have to really change your mindset and keep those expectations a little bit lower.
You mean you can't buy mulligans and stuff?
Boy, I wish you could.
Yeah. Another thing that kept me away from the Pro Tour, of course. But now you deserve all the accolades you've gotten over the years. I mean, the career numbers, and just on the LPGA, man, I guess it was 23 seasons there, 3 championships, and you always, I guess, at the head of the list. Well, it has to be that major, the up in Canada, the Du Maurier Classic. That was in Saskatchewan, wasn't it?
It was actually I was in Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver. Okay.
Yes, yes, it was in Vancouver, BC, and it was it was pretty special. It was my first win, and it was a major, and I was 6 under on my last 7 holes. So that was kind of fun.
How many strokes did you win that by?
I won by 3.
By 3.
I won by 3. Yeah, I bogeyed my, 9th and 10th holes, I think, and then caught fire on the back 9, and it was finished strong, and it was really fun because I had a history of playing really well in Canada, and they moved that tournament around every year, so it wasn't like we played the same course, but I don't know what it was, but my good friends. Lisa Walters and Dawn Coe Jones, who unfortunately passed away about a year and a half ago, gave me a T-shirt. I was an honorary Canadian, and half the tour thought I was Canadian because that's who I hung out with anyway. So, so I kind of felt that way, and it was really special. So, that was a great memory, and obviously playing in the Solheim Cup was another huge huge honor.
Right. And I love all that about what you've done and I admire you for it, and you still are playing, but the pro thing started in 1985. Yeah, well, 1985. And on the Legends, you have been victorious more than a handful of times.
Yes, I have. I've had a really good stretch, run out on the Legends Tour, but I'm kind of one of the older ones now. Unfortunately, well, I'm not one of the younger ones. Let's put it that way. Instead of being one of the older ones,
you're fine. You're
because it's 40. Our Legends Tour is 45 and over, so makes it a little bit. You can get out there a little bit earlier. And when I started on the Legends Tour, it was great because I was playing still full time on the LPGA Tour, and makes a big difference if you're playing week in and week out. Just
no doubt.
Your competitiveness is so much better, and just your mind is better, and you don't make some of the mistakes you make when you don't play much. But it's been great, and the Legends Tour has been so much fun. And we have a few events this year, and I probably really don't have anything until early June, and then I'm gonna play a few in June, and then the U.S. Senior Women's Open is in July. So
you got to get peaked for that one, Nancy, right? That's
yeah,
where you really want to be strong and ready to roll.
Exactly.
Overall, the Legends. I mean, you always want to win, but it is a little looser now, and you get to play with some good buds. Keep those relationships going there too. A few more minutes here with Nancy Scranton. She's down there in the Sunshine State where it's nice and warm. Overall, Nancy, this golf. It was that was an excellent career choice, wasn't it? Huh? That was a good move, wasn't it? Golf. You made the right choice. I think Nancy just faded away. There you are.
There you are.
The golf that turned out to be quite the career choice for you, right, Nancy? Uh-oh. Houston, I think we might have lost her, period. We're coming to...
I hear you now.
There you are.
Yeah.
Skip that last question. Happened. Hey, I want to go back to something in the last minute or two that you alluded to real early, Nancy, about, you did. You had a late start in golf. You didn't tee it up at age 5 and 6, did you?
No, I didn't.
For other boys, girls, whatever, you don't have to. I mean, there's plenty of time to get into it.
There is, and I think I learned a lot about competing and with all the other things I did, all the other sports I played, and I have a really hard time with seeing all the kids now having to make choices of what they're going to play when they're 10 years old. Yeah, my son plays soccer, and he's 10 months a year, and he doesn't really have a chance to play anything else. And I keep saying if I'd lived in Illinois, it'd be basketball and not soccer.
Does he play golf? Surely some, huh?
Not very much.
No,
my
not
daughter's
much.
actually starting to play a little bit. He's got great hand-eye coordination, and he can play if he wants to. So we'll try to get him out there and play. But the problem is I don't play much anymore, so I don't really kind of try to get them out there because I've taken up tennis, and I prefer to play tennis right
tennis.
now.
Used to play a lot of tennis. Far more tennis than golf. That's a good sport, and one that you can play forever too. Really,
It is, and that's the thing with my kids. He plays tennis more than he does golf. No, he doesn't play a lot, but I want them to have at least golf or tennis background. And she plays soccer, but hers is more recreational, and his is more competitive. So it's good to have a team sport and a individual sport.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Your husband's still heavily involved in the LPGA, correct?
In the PGA Tour.
In the PGA.
Yes, he's actually out in Los Angeles now for the Genesis tournament, and in Riviera. He was at Pebble Beach last week, but he'll be home after this week, so that'll be good.
And
so he travels quite a bit.
And what about back to the LPGA? That circuit's still shining strong, and
it really is.
Koreans are dominating though still, right? But the Americans have some good talent too.
They do. They really do. It's I think the LPGA is in a really good spot right now, and they've got some great American players, and it's it's a world tour.
It is.
That's kind of what, if you're one of the best players, you want to come here. So anybody that's really good is going to leave their home tour, if they even have one, and try to play on the LPGA. So yes, they're still dominated by the South Koreans, but we got some great young American players, and they've been doing really well.
Hey, Nancy, as we leave, we had another Hall of Famer on before you. Jeff.
Oh, you did?
Jeff Jensen. You remember Jeff?
Jeff.
JR and Jeff.
Oh yes.
Jeff went in. Jeff went in the Kaskaskia College Hall of Fame for his baseball exploits. So we had him on tonight, and he wanted to say hello to you. So I thought I'd take the opportunity.
That's great. Oh yeah, JR and I. He was just a couple years younger, I think, than I was.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, that's great. Well, good for him. That's fantastic.
But you've got a lot of people dialing us up tonight from Centralia and stuff. So, but hey, it's always great to talk to you. We get together every year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Every time you go in a new Hall of Fame again. So I expect and I hope we'll be doing this again. But have a great year in the events you play in, and pocket some money and some victories and some expand that trophy case a little more. We're pulling for you.
Thanks so much. Always good talking with you.
All right, Nancy, appreciate it. We'll see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Nancy Scranton from Florida. Our thanks to her and also Jeff, a pair of Hall of Famers on the board tonight. Wednesday, it's Janelle Kuhn and more. We'll see you then between 6 and 7. This is Talking Sports on Max 96.7, Real Sports Talk. You get the idea. See you Wednesday.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery in Carlisle. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard in rural Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7.